signals they seek, their feelings quickly blinking out of sync. Dancing feet beneath the sand, nightly waves crash on each hand, wishing that the night won't end. He knows he'll have to give it up again. And he plays pretend, it's in his head, it's in his head. He wishes he could fix what's in his head, what's in his head. He breaks his heart in every dream where they both kiss underneath the sheets. Oh, what a beautiful dream. Oh, what a beautiful dream. He sees the ship sail on to sea, and knowing it was meant to be. If love is real, in the end he knows he'll have to let it go again. Let it go again. And he plays pretend, it's in his head, it's in his head. He wishes he could fix what's in his head, what's in his head. He breaks his heart in every dream when they both kiss underneath the sheets. Oh, what a beautiful dream. And he plays pretend, it's in his head, it's in his head. He wishes he could fix what's in his head, what's in his head. He breaks his heart in every dream where they both kiss underneath the sheets. Oh, what a beautiful dream. Oh, and he plays pretend, it's in his head, it's in his head. He wishes he could fix what's in his head, what's in his head. He breaks his heart in every dream where they both kiss underneath the sheets. Oh, what a beautiful dream. And he plays pretend, it's in his head, it's in his head. He wishes he could fix what's in his head, what's in his head. He breaks his heart in every dream where they both kiss underneath the sheets. What a beautiful dream.
In the heart of the stream where the currents flow, there's a red-haired captain with a radiant glow. Riverboat Jack with her eyes so bright navigates the waters, chasing dreams in the night. She talks of games and battles won, and fights for rights until they're won. With her partner by her side, they sail the waves they won't abide. Get in the riverboat, hear her laughter sway. With every yawn and booger, it's a playful day. She'll say daddy or oh mommy in her unique way. Riverboat Jack, lead the way. In the chat, the waves crash loud. As Jack speaks truth, she stands proud. Politics, socialism, her flag unfurled. In her world, all voices are heard. With all curls and glasses on, she blows a kiss, her strength is strong. Her favorite tune she'll sing along, and in her laughter we all belong. Get in the riverboat, hear her laughter sway. With every yawn and booger, it's a playful day. She'll say daddy or oh mommy in her unique way. Riverboat Jack, lead the way. Riverboat Jack, leading the way. BWA, the sound of joy as she sails through, no one can destroy. With love and courage she sets sail. Riverboat Jack, never to fail. Get in the riverboat, hear her laughter sway. With every yawn and booger, it's a playful day. She'll say daddy or oh mommy, her unique way. Riverboat Jack, leading the way. So come aboard, let's sail the stream. With Riverboat Jack, it's a vibrant dream. In the world we're all free to play. Get in the riverboat.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Judgment Free Zone. Hello, VCC TV. Hello, Christinos. Hello, German Cow JJ. Hello, Very Knifey Duck. Hello, WJ Adam. Hello, Eleanor. Hello, Dylan. Hello, Leth. Hello, Salmon Moose.
How can we all have died at the same time?
Hello, OS Crane. Hello, Jennifer Holly. Hello, Will Kale. Hello, Zell Rex. Hello, Mr. Miyagi. Hello, Ashley J. Curtis. Thank you for helping to create the internet we know and love today. Hello, KBS. Hello, Trains and Bullshit. Hello, one and all. Hello, Noraku. Hello, my rear end. Hello, Gamergy. Hello, Punky Gal. Hello, Malachi. Hello, everybody. How we all doing today? We doing a little bit of a stream as a treat, it would seem. Hello, Shy Halud. How we all doing, folks? I have been so busy today. I'm out there busting my ass for democracy, folks, and let me tell you, it is a job. I did not have any time to work on stream stuff today, and I'm a little upset about it. A little upsetty spaghetti, but you know what? We gotta do with what we got. Also, hello, yes, please let us do things together. There we go. I responded to a thing. Sneaking to Minnesota to steal the plaid fleece coat. It would be a better strategy to just look at your local your local thrift store. It's a thankless job, but it changes lives. It really is. It really is. Hello, Rumbus. Tired after having to use a pressure washer. It's not as fun as Power Wash Simulator. Fans would like you to think. That's true. That's true. I need to take this call. I will be right back. Chat.
Sail off to sea, knowing it was meant to be. If love is real, in the end he knows he'll have to let it go again.
I'm not gonna lie, it does tickle me to see when you guys bemoan me leaving you alone in chat.
And he plays pretend, it's in his head, it's in his head. He wishes he could fix what's in his head, what's in his head. He breaks his heart in every dream when they both kiss underneath the sheets. What a beautiful dream. And he plays pretend, it's in his head, it's in his head. He wishes he could fix what's in his head, what's in his head. He breaks his heart in every dream where they both kiss underneath the sheets. What a beautiful dream. Oh, and he plays pretend, it's in his head, it's in his head. He wishes he could fix what's in his head, what's in his head. He breaks his heart in every dream where they both kiss underneath the sheets. What a beautiful dream. And he plays pretend, it's in his head, it's in his head. He wishes he could fix what's in his head, what's in his head. He breaks his heart in every dream where they both kiss underneath the sheets. What a beautiful dream.
Gotta love Sweet Myths. Is this the yellow band? No, it is Sweet Myths. Sweet Myths. Friend of the channel, excellent band. Go check it out. Hello, everybody. Hello, Kiona, Shadow Dancer. Hello, Zelrex. Did I see other newcomers in here? Hello, Goblin City Band. How you doing? Hope you keep getting those compliments on that necklace. Hello, Erica. Sweet Myths. Yes. Also, just phenomenal artwork. Oh my god. All right. How was my day? My day was very, 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 very busy. I have basically been doing things since the moment I woke up. And I had an opportunity to like shovel some food in my mouth. And yeah, I've basically been in meetings or sending emails all day to organize so that all of you don't lose your democracy. Hello, Weird Beards. Hello, Amber Brains. Hello, Nenya the cat. Let's see. Hello, Megastar. Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good. We're doing good. We're going to be covering the Prime Minister debates tonight. We're going to be going over the debate between Keir Starmer and Rishi Sunak. And basically, I imagine going into this that it's just going to be one incredible clown car train wreck. Like if you had two trains just full of clown cars and they crashed into each other. That's what I imagine is what we're going to see. Because basically, if you guys haven't been paying attention to UK politics, it's a mess over there. Like, they're not doing okay, dog. Look at the British Empire. They're not doing okay. All right. Are the drivers also clowns? Yes, the drivers are also clowns. Basically the entire UK, my understanding as an American is basically that the entire UK political system is basically collapsing, and the only remaining viable party is going to be Labour, and Labour is just for whatever godforsaken reason capitulating to the right. So basically all the UK has left are is this conservative like lawmaking apparatus. And that's it. That's all they got. I can't really offer like a path forward for UK politics because I'm not as familiar with the landscape as I am in the United States. But my professional political analysis opinion is that the UK is boned. That is the technical term for it. I don't know how you guys are gonna like unmess yourselves out of this. Yeah, Labor is bad. Like they're the bit from Young Frankenstein where the main character, the hunchbacked character goes and grabs a bad brain. It's basically that put into a political party. That was a terrible reference. I wish I could undo it, but we roll with what we got. And so basically, you got Rishi Sunak like tweeting out just blatant transphobia in an effort to try and save his position. You've got Keir Starmer basically nodding along and being like, yes, we must really look into this with a 15-year-long commission in order to evaluate whether or not trans people should be allowed to have medication in the UK. Yeah, that makes total sense. And those are your two parties. Those are your two options, basically, in the UK. So this is going to basically be a contest of clowns. Hey, Luna Rose. Are you saying it's Abby normal? Exactly, Shai Halid. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, Labor is Abby normal. Indeed, yes. They can either raise taxes or spend their way out of problems, and the UK refuses to do both those things. Well, you know what? It's not working out for them. I saw it in the other chat first. I'm sorry. So basically, this is very much a let's see. Did I add this to the soundboard? Did I do a good job? I didn't. Damn it. Damn it. I guess we got that. Just killing the momentum. Yeah, almost like Brexit was a bad idea. Yeah, almost like that referendum completely obliterated the path forward for the UK. Hey. All right. And after we finish the Keir Starmer, Rishi Sunak debate, we're going to be rolling right along into the debate between Lauren Boebert and her fellow conservatives. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be pretty funny. Also, thank you very much for subscribing. I don't know where that subscription came from, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Also, on a side note, it would appear that Twitch is going to be hiking the cost of subscriptions. So just as an FYI to those of you who subscribe to me over on Twitch, those subs are going to cost $1 more per month. I still am only going to make half of whatever you guys throw my way on Twitch. Meanwhile, and I don't want to like, move you one way or the other on this, but over on riverboat.gg, you can watch without ads, and the subs only cost $5, and I get all of that $5 minus transaction fees. So, yeah. And if you're over on YouTube, I make 70% instead of 50%. So it's still a better deal. So anyway. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up so that didn't like suddenly like come across and you were like, what's happening? What's going on? 50% is kind of insane. Yeah, in the year of our Lord 2024, it is kind of insane that Twitch takes half of everything you make via subscriptions. That is weird. Hello, Ms. Milena. How you doing? How you living? What's good? And I just realized I may or may not still have my sponsored panel up. So let me fix that real quick. You're not getting the free advertising from me. There we go. Nailed it. Whew. Twitch takes half and uses 1% for slight maintenance. It's true. Waiting for Destiny 2 servers to stabilize so I can finally play the new expansion. Ooh, that's exciting. What happened with that very important meeting you had a couple weekends ago? Oh, God. Oh, God, a couple weekends ago. What was I doing even a couple weekends ago? I've been so busy. Like, the event horizon for me to remember events is gone. It's gone, dog. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba-ba, ba-ba-ba-ba-da. Oh! Yeah, I still can't talk about it yet. Yes, I still, you know, it's wild. I still can't talk about it. It is absolutely a big deal, but I can't talk about it. When I can talk about it, I will tell you guys, but it has been explicitly requested upon me to not talk about it until a date that I do not know. So, you know, I'd tell you if I could. Also, folks, remember, today's Monday, right? Oh, God, today's Tuesday. Tomorrow, we will be talking with Taylor Lorenz of the Washington Post. So, make sure you guys tune in for that. No, unfortunately, Paladin Lost, you cannot. It is Tuesday. Yeah, tomorrow we'll be talking with Taylor Lorenz. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Do you guys have any if you guys have questions you want me to ask her, think about them over the course of today's stream. We'll figure it out. I'll be happy to pass them along. What's up, Ms. Milena? Did I turn off clipping on YouTube? No. Though some other people have said that they're also having trouble clipping sometime, but no, it should have like all of the settings. I didn't do anything different. Yeah, the DVR setting is on. You should be able to clip. I don't know. Are you going to ask her about the campus protest she was at? I definitely could. What would you like to know about the campus protests? YouTube did something. There are multiple elements I can't even see on YouTube the last couple of days. Oh, that's weird. That's not fun. Ugh. All right. Just what she thought of the overall thing, really? Okay. Yeah, I can ask her about that. If I don't do it tomorrow, just remind me in chat. You don't get a thumbs up icon? That's so weird. I feel like YouTube is deliberately breaking their service in order to try and get around ad blockers. They might be testing some UI thing for some users and it's not working right. Most people seem unaffected, but I've seen a few others having issues too. Okay, good to know, Dylan. Thanks for giving us the heads up. How we all doing? How we all doing? And folks, just gonna throw this out there. Just gonna throw this out there here. If we get 20 subs, I will change my outfit into an experimental outfit that I'm not sure if I want to wear out and about when I'm moving and shaking and grooving. So you guys get to test it for me if we get it. Yes, remember, hit all the buttons, hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, do the buttons, do them. Make love to them. Wine and dine them. Tell them they're the most beautiful buttons you've ever seen. In all the lands, in all the world, of all the buttons you've bore witness to. Woo them. YouTube is currently broken once again. Cool! I'm not gonna fuck a button for you. Look, I didn't say that. You're putting words in my mouth. What is your definition of experimental? I don't know. You guys will have to find out. All right. Before we dive into any of this, I do want to look at the full trailer for Alien Romulus because the teaser looked good, and I want to know if it's going to be good.
Is this really where you want to spend the rest of your life?
You know I don't.
Then this is our only ticket out of here.
What's happening?
There's something in the water.
What do you mean there's something in the
I don't know,
water?
there's just something in the fucking water. Fucking thing's hunting us.
Open the door, come on.
Run.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Okay. So I like it. I love the director that they tapped for this, but I think some of the visuals, if I'm being completely honest here, and this is just my initial reaction, I feel like producers got their fingerprints all over this in a way that I am not sure I like. Like, it all looks very clean. And that's like not that's not the aesthetic of the films. You know? Like I feel like the aesthetic and like the feel of what the Alien franchise is all about is grim, dirty, not even necessarily grim, just dirty, grimy. Blue collar workers. Like that's part of what makes it great. That's part of what makes the series great. You know, it's about like working class people having to deal with this. Yeah, it's in these lived in claustrophobic space places, you know? And I don't know. It's I guess what I mean by like it's clean. How do I show this? Like this. This is a very clean looking shot. Like, if you're trying to convey claustrophobic, grimy, lived in, this is not the kind of aesthetic you want to go for. You want to go for kind of like the like the aesthetic of like the Millennium Falcon. You know, the Millennium Falcon looks like it smells bad. You know, it looks like a place people have lived in. It's claustrophobic. It's not a comfortable space. And that's kind of what you're going for, I think, in an Alien film. You know? This looks slick. And that, there might be a reason for that. Maybe this is like some sort of lab, like a Weyland-Yutani lab, fortress, space station, whatever, what have you. But I feel like you could do so many other cool things. I'm not entirely sure. Like, I really like, for example, in Aliens, or not Aliens, in the first Alien, they go and they find like a, they find this egg. They find the parasite. It's has like the alien they don't really understand. And why not do that again? Like space salvagers finding a derelict alien craft. And they, as they're exploring it, they encounter an alien. I think that would be great. That's like an Alien story right there. Like, people pushed by capitalist incentive to go into extraordinarily dangerous places for, Yeah, the first Alien is brilliant. It's brilliant. And Aliens is a different kind of movie, but I think it still maintains the same tone, That's a remake. Why remake Alien? It's not a remake. They're not space salvagers. They're space truckers. They're doing a different task. And then are diverted by Weyland-Yutani, as opposed to making an individual choice to, like, go. Like, you watch the UK debate? Not yet. We're going to. Right now, we're talking about the movie Alien and Alien Romulus.
Astronaut 1. Hey, can I use milk in my coffee? Astronaut 2. In space no one can. Here, use cream.
God damn it. Very knifey duck, thank you for the $5 dono. I appreciate it. Any questions, hit me up. Oh yeah, no, I very much this is a clown car train wreck that we're about to witness. So I'm not, yeah. Alien and Aliens I watched with my high school girlfriend. I thought they were great. I liked the first one a lot. Yeah, the first one's an all-time classic. I even like Alien 3. Like, I know a lot of people crap on it, but I think it gets an unfair reception due to like what it does to the characters from 2. But yeah, I just look. I just think that this looks too clean. You know, I think it looks not grimy, not lived in enough. I don't know. Let me just put it this way. I want these metal doodads on the wall to be gross. You know, I want it to be like this room full of water. I want it to be more gross. Make it gross. Space living should be icky. Like if the only icky thing is the alien, I feel like you're doing it wrong. You know? Yeah, give me some grunge. You're all living in like a sealed canister hurled through space. It's gonna get a little messy. Yeah, Mr. Miyagi. Yeah, yes. But I don't think that's the fault of the director they attached to this movie, because I've seen other stuff he's worked on and it wasn't like this. So it's why I'm leaning towards like producers really might have handed down some notes. Just thankful neither said anything about trans people. I guess Rishi Sunak tried to make up for it on Twitter, though. Yeah, and Miss Molina, I think he's a great directorial pick for the Alien franchise. I think it's gonna be okay. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I've been done real dirty by the Alien franchise in like the last decade, and so I'm a little jumpy. I'm a little jumpy on this. A little hesitant. I've been done dirty by Ridley Scott. Yeah. 10-letter name. We just went over the Alien Romulus trailer. Oh yeah, no, the Thing is a perfect horror movie, Charlie. The Thing is so good. The Thing is so good. I think The Thing is like another really great kind of point of comparison visually, I think, for what you should go for like an Alien franchise. You know, like they're all you can think of it this way, like they're all contained in a similarly like claustrophobic confined space. It's very 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 lived in. Like there's just stuff everywhere, but it's like placed with intention. Like it's, you know, that's where that guy knows his pants are, you know. And yeah, I do want wet puppets. The more wet puppetry a movie has, the more it is going to be a good film. And I feel like Alien as a franchise has a lot of like spiritual parallels. Watch this trailer and tell me Ridley Scott is still trustworthy. Oh no. When men ruled as gods, one was chosen to change the world.
In the darkness, for the
Ramesses.
You grew up together, close as brothers. Keep each other safe. Always.
You know something's wrong. You've always felt it.
Your parents never told you the truth. What truth? The year of
How
your
is this a
birth, There was a
movie?
prophecy that our leader would be born to liberate us. That leader is you, Moses. After 400 years of slavery, things here have become much worse.
They gave him so much
As your
money.
brother, you must set them free.
Is that a threat?
Yes!
I want Moses
And his family?
dead. What is the most important thing in your life?
You are. And when will you leave me?
Never.
Let's just see who's more effective at killing.
You.
Or me.
Oh my god, dude.
Is it meant to humble
Sigourney
me?
Weaver, Ben Kingsley.
Because it will not!
I came to tell you something is coming that is far beyond you and I. This is about Egypt's survival, do you understand?
Who has been telling you this?
God.
I'm God.
I am a god!
Follow me and you will be free!
We're going to recapture 400,000 slaves.
We're not recapturing anyone.
There is a sea ahead and an army behind! Ready yourselves!
This is so... When did this come out? 2014? This came out 10 years ago. 10 years ago, no one was like, hey, maybe we shouldn't cast a bunch of white people as Egyptians. Maybe we shouldn't do that. Oh no. No. Oh no. God. Didn't Russell Crowe do a Noah's Ark film? Yeah. At least that one had giants in it. "2014 was a time." It really was. Anything was possible. Also, can we just note real quick here? In 2014, like, Christian Bale was like in his early 50s, late 40s. This lady looks way too young for him. Come on. No. Oh dear. Oh man. He's 50 now? I genuinely have no idea. He's been 50 to me forever. He was straight 40 at the time. All right, you know, if she's late 20s, all right. It's fine. Oh my god. I won't judge her. Fair. All right. It's time. We've procrastinated too long. It's now time for us to dive headfirst into the sea of Brit-bong politics. Oh, sorry, the channel of Brit-bong politics. Look at that. That was a reference for you British people out there. Let's go. I like that. Again, this is Sky News' coverage of the debate. It opens with images of Florida. So that immediately undercut my entire intro. Thanks, Sky News. Y'all really batting 10 for 10 on starting this clip here. There we go. We did it.
It's 10 o'clock. This is Sky News at 10, our top story. Rishi Sunak and Sir Keir Starmer go head-to-head, clashing in the first live debate of the election campaign.
The plan is working, of course I know.
Wait, is this not no, this isn't the debate. God damn it, Sky News. All right. Thanks, Sky News, ITV. All right.
Just to turn to you.
There we go.
It's the first head-to-head debate in the 2024 general election with these two men who want to run the country, Rishi Sunak and Keir Starmer.
God, you guys in the UK are so good. I'm so sorry.
Well, good evening. Tonight.
Wait, does ITV do this? Do the thing? Do they do the thing? All right. Well, I have a secret technique. All right. I have a secret technique, which is very advanced. All right. Guys, ready for it? All right. And in order to facilitate additional protection.
No white name hum for the experimental outfit nodders.
Well, Malachi, thank you for the $5 dono. And I should put this on the screen. That is a good idea. Thank you for that. We'll just post this up here. Okay. And now you all might think this is the only method of securing the channel. However, you would be wrong, all right? You'd be wrong, all right? This is what we're doing. Okay, all right, there we go. Nailed it. Whoa!
Tonight's debate is set against the toughest of backdrops. Since the UK last went to the polls, we've had a pandemic, Putin's invasion of Ukraine, and a cost of living crisis which is still hitting families hard. Huge geopolitical threats loom large, not least, of course, climate change. We all know how tough it's been. We don't need the politicians to remind us. So what are these two men going to offer us? Who are they? And why should they earn our vote? Can they level with us when we know that finances are almost impossibly tight? Later tonight, you'll be able to see what other parties are offering when they're interviewed live on ITV1 by Anushka Astana. And the conversation will continue on the national and regional news. But now, let's get on with tonight's debate. Keir Starmer, your opening statement, please.
Thank you very much. This election is all about a choice. More of the chaos and division we've seen for the last 14 years, or turning the page and rebuilding with Labour.
Yeah, but doing all of the bad policies
to deliver it. I've changed the Labour Party and put it back in the service of working people. Now I'm seeking your backing to change our country, to make it work once again for you and your family.
Thank you. Rishi Sunak.
Uncertain times call for a clear plan and bold action.
God, he's such a
So
dork.
I'll keep this simple. In 5 weeks, either Keir Starmer or I will be Prime Minister.
Thanks, we all know that.
Beyond
That's why we're
raising
watching.
your taxes and raiding your pensions, no one knows what Labour would actually do. But you know what I would do? I'll cut your taxes, protect your pension, and reduce immigration. I have a clear plan for a more secure future for you and your family.
Thank you, Rishi Sunak.
He's so broken, dog.
Well, we invited viewers from right across the country to submit questions. We have independently selected the questioners here with us this evening. I'll also raise some points made by people who couldn't be here. The two leaders don't know what they'll be asked. Also here, people who'll listen to tonight's debate. Some have voted Conservative and Labour in the past and think they will do so on July the 4th. And some have voted for other parties or are undecided. You can join the debate wherever you are by using the hashtag ITVDebate. And just before we go to our first question, a reminder that each leader will have 45 seconds to respond initially. Now, our first question on the cost of living, Paula from Huddersfield. Paula.
Good evening, both. I have worked since I was 15 years old, and at the moment I hold a full-time, stable job. My children have left home. In the last few years, I found it very difficult to make ends meet, and the money simply doesn't go far enough. All I do is work to live. My food bill is nearly doubled. I'm in arrears with my bills. I spend my weekends batch cooking, so I don't have to turn on my oven in peak times. My savings are gone, and I'm genuinely worried about my future. I don't think you actually understand how this is for people like me. So what can you do about that?
Thank you very much indeed, Paula, for your question. Rishi Sunak.
Well, Paula, I know how much of a strain the last few years have put on your family finances, the family finances of everyone in our country. And that's why my priority has always been to do what I can to support you. That started with bold action, like the furlough scheme during the pandemic, and more recently, my clear plan
It is very funny to me that the British call
back
things
to normal.
schemes.
And now, our economy is growing again, wages are rising, and crucially, we are able to now start cutting your taxes. But I know you're only just starting to see the benefits of that, as you described. So the choice at this election is with my clear plan and bold action to keep cutting your taxes, to give you financial security, or put all that progress at risk with higher taxes, £2,000 worth of higher taxes under the Labour Party.
Thank you, Rishi Sunak. Keir Starmer.
Paula, I'm really sorry to hear the position that you're in. It must be really, really difficult on a daily basis. And there'll be millions of people watching this who feel in a similar position to you, that the cost of living crisis is really bearing down on them.
Calling it a scheme makes it sound inherently less trustworthy.
Ukraine and COVID hasn't made things worse, but this government has lost control. Liz Truss crashed the economy. They made it worse here than in other countries.
I'm sorry, Ms. Valeta, I'm so sorry.
Are paying the price, because if a government loses control of the economy, as they have, it's working people that pay the price. And Liz Truss's advisers are in the House of Lords. She's going to be a candidate at the next election. Rishi Sunak is putting her forward. We've got to stop this chaos, got to stop the division, turn a page and start to rebuild under Labour.
Thank you for those opening statements, 45 seconds
Cool.
each. Just to turn to you first, Keir Starmer, the point that Rishi Sunak made is the economy is growing again. The plan is working, is his view.
Well, he says the plan is working. He says the plan is working. So the question for him is, why has he called the election now? Because if he thinks things are going to get better towards the second half of this year...
Yeah, the plan is working. That's why I called an election.
He's called it now because he knows, and I'll ask him this, he knows inflation is going to go back up. He knows energy prices are going to go back up in the autumn. That's what he's not telling you. So he says the plan is working, but I don't think he believes the plan is working, because if he thought the plan is working, he wouldn't have called this election right now.
Rishi Sunak.
I think it's slightly ironic, because from the moment I got this job, Keir Starmer was telling me, call an election, call an election. And now that we've called an election, he's saying, oh, no, don't have an election, because I don't want to tell you what I'm going to do. And this is the choice. This is the choice for everybody. The plan is working. Of course I know everyone is only just starting to feel the benefits of it, but inflation is back to normal, wages are growing, taxes are now being cut. Keir Starmer would put all that progress at risk. He would put up everyone's taxes by £2,000. £2,000 in higher taxes for every working family in our country after all the hard work and sacrifice we've been through. That's not the right course of action. I don't know why you want to put up people's taxes.
Keir Starmer.
Paula, I just don't know how you feel. when you hear a Prime Minister say, having heard what you're going through, that the plan is working, it's all right. I meet so many people who are struggling
I don't think the
with their
plan's
bills,
working.
and the Prime Minister just keeps saying he lives in a different world, that
Could you...
the corner's turned...
I also don't think
If
Labour's
struggling with
plan
their
is
bills,
working.
why do you want to make it harder for them by saddling them with £2,000 worth of higher taxes? How is that going to make Paula or anyone's life easier?
Could you respond directly to Rishi Sunak?
This is the Prime Minister who's been part of a government that has put up tax 26 times. The last manifesto that they had in 2019 said we won't put up national insurance. This man then put up national insurance. He's the British expert on tax rises. They're at the highest level for 70 years. And he's got the gall to say other people are going to...
I know you're going to hear a lot about the past in this election, but this election is about the future. This election is about the future.
Come on.
And I'm clear that I'm going to keep cutting people's taxes, as we now are.
Can we just...
You want to put everyone's taxes up by £2,000, and this is really important. Independent Treasury officials have costed Labour's policies, and they amount to a £2,000 tax rise for every working family. No, this is important. Mark my words. Labour will raise your taxes. It's in their DNA. Your work, your car, your pension.
Thank you. OK,
you name it,
sorry,
Labour will tax it.
I'm just going to... No, I'm just going to draw breath there a moment, please, gentlemen. We're going to be talking about tax again later on.
I just
want to bring this part of the debate back very firmly to Paula's question. She made it very clear how hard her life is at the moment. You did acknowledge it, both of you. She spends her weekends batch cooking so she doesn't have to turn her oven on during peak times. There is worry here right before our eyes.
Oh, I'm so excited for Shadow of the Erd Tree.
Echoed across the country.
Why? Why are you doing this? Why are you being like this? Computer. Just open up the old task manager. You should be doing just fine. There's not a lot of things to do here. I should have restarted my computer earlier, 'cause it's Windows. WMI.
One of the key points that Paula says is this says, I don't think you understand how hard it is for people like me.
What the hell?
I just
want to bring this part of the debate back very firmly to Paula's question. She made it very clear how hard her life is at the moment. You did acknowledge it, both of you. She spends her weekends batch cooking so she doesn't have to turn her oven on during peak times. There is worry here right before our eyes that were being echoed across the country. One of the key points that Paula says is this says, I don't think you understand how hard it is
okay, that's just
for
part of the
people
video.
like me. What are you going to do about it? How do you actually connect with Paula? Rishi Sunak.
Well, I'd ask everyone to judge me by my actions. You saw what I did during the pandemic. When disaster struck our country, I implemented the furlough scheme because I knew the impact, devastating impact it would have on people. And you know what? Every week, when I'm out and about, someone comes up to me and tells me how furlough saved their family, saved their home, because that's who I am. And I don't want to put that progress at risk. I want to keep delivering financial security by cutting people's taxes.
Thank you.
Whereas the Labour Party want to keep putting people's taxes up, and that's not going to help anyone overcome the challenges they're facing.
Well, by charging people, by having more come in via taxes, you can do more things like building roads, or providing housing, or covering more people with health insurance. It's more things like that.
Paula wants to know what you're going to do about it.
Yeah, well, I think what you put to the Prime Minister is, how does he connect? And Paula, what I would say is this. My dad worked in a factory. He was a toolmaker. My mum was a nurse. We didn't have a lot of money when I was growing up. And we were in a position on occasion where we couldn't pay our bills. So I know how that feels. In our particular case, we had our phone cut off because we didn't have the money. So I do know the
What's this? It's the British PM debate.
When the postman comes with a bill, what is that bill going to be? Can I pay for it?
Are you saying,
I don't think the Prime Minister quite understands the position that you and other people are in. I do want to, if I may, just answer that.
Please let Rishi respond to that, please.
Because this election is about the future and making people's lives better. Now, I've got a clear plan to ease those anxieties that Paula and everyone is facing, because things are tough. I want to make them easier by continuing to cut your taxes.
By continuing to do fuck and
Keir
all.
Starmer is going to put your taxes up by £2,000.
Thank you.
So if people are worried about their electricity bill, their food bill,
Okay, thank you very much. I am going to stop.
£2,000 worth of tax rises are not going to help with any of those things.
Rishi Sunak and
I'll
Keir
ask
Starmer,
again,
I am going to draw a
everyone's
line
taxes
under
up?
this part of the debate.
I don't
We're going to be
think-
talking about tax again later on. And
This is
also
insane to me.
both of you will be talking about that. Paula, thank you very much indeed for your question. We're now going to go to the issue of health and social care, which, like some other issues that may come up in tonight's debate, is a devolved area. That means policies set directly in Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland, and the UK government sets policy for England. So our next question is about the health service, and it's from Janet from Telford. Janet.
Thank you. I've interacted more with the NHS
Lady Domina.
lately than the average person. I'm a cancer survivor. My son is a nurse. I recently lost a cousin who was waiting for surgery. No one is brave enough to tell us the truth. The NHS is broken. Be honest with us. How long will it take to fix it?
Thank you very much indeed, Janet. Keir Starmer.
Janet, I'm really sorry to hear about your own position and that of your relatives. My wife works in the NHS in one of the big London hospitals. My mum was a nurse, my sister was a nurse, so the DNA, it runs through my DNA. And you can imagine just how angry I am that it's been broken, and it has been broken exactly as you describe. It's unforgivable what's happened to the NHS, and to come into power for 14 years
Me mum
and
was
leave
a
the
nurse.
NHS in a worse state than when you found it is unforgivable in politics. And Rishi Sunak stood 18 months ago, Janet, and said that those waiting lists, which are now nearly 8 million, he said he'll get them down. He made a promise. He said he'd be held accountable. They were 7.2 million at the time. Now they're 7.5 million. So they've gone up, and that bears down on the NHS.
Thank Rishi Sunak.
Well, Janet, thank you for sharing your story, and I'm glad that you've recovered. And I'm sorry for your loss as well. Now, my dad was a GP. My mum was a pharmacist. So I'm speaking as someone who was brought up in the NHS, surrounded by people who dedicated their lives to it. And the evenings in my house growing up, my parents spoke about how they could provide more care for their patients, like you. And that's how I think about the NHS. And of course it's difficult, and you're right, and we have to be honest about the damage that COVID has done and the time it will take to recover.
He's such... This is what makes me so mad about British politics. It's that, like, scum like Rishi Sunak will get up on a stage and, like, feign as if he cares. You know? Like he just pretends like he cares in front of, like, the entire world. And we all know Rishi Sunak would gladly, like, watch every single, like, mother and father just pass away from lack of health care rather than give it to them. Like, if he had his druthers, you know? They're ghouls.
From that, but we've put record funding in, we're training more doctors and nurses, we're doing more checks and scans, and what I want you to know is that the NHS is safe in my hands. I will always stand up for it to give you and everyone else the peace of mind that it will be there for you and your families when you need it.
Thank you very much. Janet put this question. Keir Starmer agreed with the part of that question that the NHS is broken. Your response to that, Rishi Sunak?
Well, as Janet knows and everyone knows, the NHS is still recovering from COVID. We went through the best part of 2 years where the NHS couldn't conduct all the treatments it normally would, and it is going to take time to recover from that. But we are now making progress. The waiting lists are coming down. But what Keir Starmer didn't mention to you, which you did, Julie...
Waiting lists 7.2 million, they're now 7.5 million. He says they're coming down, and this is the guy who says he's good at maths.
Yeah, they are now coming down. They are now coming down.
7.2 when you said you get them down, 7.2 million, they're now 7.5 million. I'd like you to explain how they're coming down.
Because they were coming down from where they were when they were higher.
7.2.
And they're now on their way down. They are down, right? Yes, because the NHS was impacted by industrial action. And if it wasn't for that...
Industrial action, man!
It's somebody else's fault.
No, but let me address the question, because, as you said, Julie, the NHS is devolved.
Oh, man, dog.
So different parties are responsible for the NHS in different parts of the United Kingdom. Keir Starmer's party responsible for it in Wales.
I hate this guy.
Now,
I
the
hate
NHS
him
has been
so
impacted
much.
by COVID everywhere. But things are difficult in England, I know that. But if you were in Wales, you would be waiting 40% longer for treatment. Ambulance and A&E times are the worst in Great Britain.
Thank you.
And 1 in 4 people are on a waiting list. So, yes, the NHS has challenges, but it has challenges everywhere, regardless of the party that's in charge.
I'm looking at Janet's response when all the Prime Minister can say to her is that what the position is in Wales. Janet, I don't know. You may not be interested in the position in Wales. You may be interested in the position that you're facing and want a Prime Minister who takes responsibility for what he is responsible for. But what you'll get with the Prime Minister is somebody who makes a promise saying, I will be held personally responsible for bringing those waiting lists down. Yeah. At the moment they don't come down, what does he do? He blames everybody else.
Keir Starmer...
What did personal responsibility actually mean?
Sorry, can I just intervene there and ask very specifically then, Keir Starmer, what would you do about the doctors' strikes that Rishi Sunak raised? Can you answer that very directly to Rishi Sunak?
We've got to resolve them, and for months and months and months, the Prime Minister hasn't resolved them. They've been arguing about who gets in the room. You've got to get in the room, you've got to resolve it, because the NHS needs to get back to work. But we've also got to bring down the waiting list.
He's moving to Cali after he loses. Honestly, probably.
Extra appointments each and every week. That's £2 million a year to bring those waiting lists down. They're at a record high. And under the last Labour government, the record was waiting lists right down, satisfaction in the NHS at a record high. That's completely been turned on its head.
OK, Rishi Sunak.
I'm really grateful for everyone in the NHS for working so hard, and we have now settled pay rises with everyone in the NHS except for the junior doctors. And of course I want to do that to make sure it's fair and affordable,
for that group.
But despite being offered the most generous pay settlement anywhere in the NHS, and indeed the public sector, the union are demanding a 35% pay rise, and I don't want to raise your taxes to pay for that, because I don't think it's right. But I will say this.
I can't believe that he's out there saying, I just missed this jump. God damn it. He's literally going out there and saying, I don't believe in paying our doctors a fair wage. And he gets claps for it. Like, I don't know how to tell you. I'm so sorry to people who are trapped in the UK right now, held hostage by this horrible, horrible political system. I'm so sorry.
So, when Keir Starmer says he'll resolve it, he hasn't explained to you how.
Yeah, you just
but
tax the rich.
Answer that, Keir Starmer.
Well, we would...
But of course, Rishi Sunak can't say we need to tax the rich. He is richer than the king, after all. Last person who wants to be taxed.
Pay the 35%. We've already said that to the doctors. We can't afford it because the government's already broken the economy, and there are many things that now can't be afforded. So we're not going to pay that. But what you can't do is what the Prime Minister has done, which is to say...
Well, you just said you'd resolve it, so what would you do?
At the end of the day...
So you're not going to give them the 35% pay rise that they're asking for, so how would you resolve it? Just standing there and saying, I'll resolve it, isn't an answer. That's not a plan.
Prime Minister...
How would you resolve it?
Prime Minister, your record...
No, how would you resolve it? You want to be Prime Minister. How would you resolve the strike? How would you resolve them?
I wish he had as much to say when Liz Truss was crashing the economy.
Could you answer Rishi Sunak's point, please, Keir Starmer?
Well, I will when I can get a word in edgeways. His record is of saying, I'm not going to get in the room to negotiate. And what have we got?
We've been in the room to negotiate.
What have we got? Ongoing
Let him
strikes.
answer.
We have to end these strikes. The grown-up way to do that is to get in the room and to negotiate with the doctors and come to a settlement. There's only two ways forward. One is a continuing strike, which is what we've had for a very, very long time. We're now 4.5 weeks from election. He's going to kick it into the long grass. Right. Or you get grown up, you go in the room and you resolve this. That does not mean you agree with the 35%. We can't afford that.
Thank you.
But we have got to settle
thank you. I'm going to pause it there. I'm going to pause that there, please, because I want to return to another part of Janet's question that you did touch on, that she lost her cousin who was waiting for surgery. These waiting lists are a matter of life and death. A quick point of information to both of you. If you had loved ones on a long waiting list for surgery, would you, if you felt that that was the only way forward, use private healthcare? Rishi Sunak?
Yes.
Keir Starmer?
No.
Absolutely no if your loved one was on a waiting list.
Hey, Lefty
for
McLefterson.
No.
Thank you very much.
I don't use private health. I use the NHS. That's where my wife works, in one of the big hospitals. As I said, it runs through my...
By the way, this is why we should not... I think we should just have a public health system, man. Like, I feel like the private health insurance companies are just, like, smacking their lips at the prospect of a privatized UK health system.
Idea.
OK, thank you. We've had the answers to that very clearly. And I just want to pause there to move on to a different aspect of the debate
isn't me doing that, by the way.
The NHS. Everyone knows that fixing the NHS depends on fixing social care. 5 years ago, Boris Johnson was standing where you both are now. He told me there was a plan ready to go on this. We're still waiting. Will you both now commit to a fully funded solution in your manifesto this time round? Yes or no? Rishi Sunak.
Yes, well, we've already implemented charging reform. Pilots are in place to implement the reforms. They will be rolled out later this year, fully next year.
It'll be fully funded in your manifesto.
We've already given social care an extra £8 billion because the pressures are immediate.
Thank you.
And the pilot reforms are there for charging.
OK, we heard that answer. Yes or no?
We will have a plan for social care, and like everything else in our manifesto, it'll be fully costed and fully funded. It starts with the workforce because, as you know, one of the biggest problems in social care is that the workforce is fragmented, poor conditions, and many people.
Thank you.
Well, you talk about the workforce.
Thank you.
If I can just jump on this workforce question, because it is important, because there's no way to get Janet and everyone else the care they need without a workforce.
OK.
But the British Medical Association has warned that Keir Starmer's pension tax risks an exodus of doctors, because we're talking about doctors from the NHS.
We are going to...
Thank you.
It's all joined up.
Thank you.
But it's all joined up, but this is an important point.
Thank you very much
Thank you.
We're going to come on to tax very shortly. I am going to say, yes, tax will run through a lot of what we're discussing this evening. We will return very specifically to it. And I just want to stay on the issue of public services and take a quick fire on education. OK, we've had Harry, a message from Harry, who's a teacher just starting out, and Deborah, who has been a primary school head for 40 years. They've both been in touch with us to tell us effectively the same thing. That they cannot believe how bad things are in their sector. They want to know what you can do for them. Rishi Sunak.
Yes, well, I think education is the most powerful way that you can transform people's lives. That was something that my parents raised me with, and I'm grateful to all our teachers for what they're doing, which is why we're backing our schools with record investment at the moment, but also reforming how we teach our kids, which is why I'm proud that right now English school children are the best readers anywhere in the Western world. And that is testament to the hard work of teachers and the reforms of this Conservative government.
Well, there's a pattern here, isn't there? We've just been talking about the NHS, and Janet says it's broken. We've now gone to education, and the teachers say that's broken as well. And I know the Prime Minister has already said in the first however many minutes of this debate that he doesn't want to have anything to do with the last 14 years. I'm sorry, Prime Minister, you may want to just cast it off.
He's getting taxes in a different way.
But everybody else is living with it. When it comes to schools, we desperately need more teachers because
Thank you for
in
the $5
secondary schools,
dono.
we do not have the teachers we need. So, for example, on key issues like maths, we have maths being taught, and parents watching this will know, by supply teachers, by PE teachers, but not maths teachers. So we would have in place, one of our first steps would be to recruit 6,500 teachers to fill those gaps, which will help the existing teachers who are struggling to cope with the mess that this government has left them in.
So tell Rishi Sunak why you're going to raise VAT on private schools to achieve the money that you say you will spend on those extra teachers. Why are you making that choice? Tell Rishi Sunak.
Because I believe every child should have the teachers they need in the core subjects like maths. And I think for a child in a state secondary school who doesn't have a core teacher in something like maths is going to live with that for the rest of their lives. It's not a one-year problem or a two-year problem. If they're in their GCSEs, it's for life. And therefore, we will have 6,500 recruits. We will get rid of the tax break on private schools to pay for it. That's a tough choice. I do understand that. It's a tough choice.
Rishi Sunak.
But I want to make sure that children in our secondary schools get the chances that they need.
You've explained the policy. Thank you. Rishi Sunak, if you'd like to respond directly to
I don't agree with it, because I think people who work hard and aspire to provide that education for their kids should have that freedom. That's what my parents did, and I'll support it. But you heard it. Keir Starmer is going to raise taxes. But that's just the start. because there's a long list of other things that he needs to find the money for. So it's not just going to start and stop there. There are £2,000 worth of tax rises coming for every working family in this country, and as I said, he's saying to you he's going to raise taxes.
I do need to
that's
answer
not the start, and that's not the end.
I do need to answer that because he put that figure out there. Well, what's happened here is it's a classic. They put in pretend Labour policies to the Treasury, and then they get a false readout. So I'll just tell you, what they've put in for this analysis is a mental health policy that isn't the Labour Party's policy. He's put in one of his own policies. He's asked the civil service to cost it, and they've come up with this figure of £2,000. They
are an independent civil service.
I do need to deal with
gentlemen, please, may I just say that people can have a lot of figures to get their heads around tonight. I'm not saying that people are more than capable of calculating that rapidly at home, but I do want to actually draw the focus then, given we're on this patch, very specifically onto the question of tax. I want to talk very specifically about tax before we finish this first half of our debate. Can we clarify the similarities in your positions?
That red is dynamite.
Please raise your hand if I am wrong. You, as Prime Minister, will not raise income tax. You will not raise national insurance in the next Parliament. And other than Labour on private schools, you will not raise VAT. Thank you for that instructive moment. We've had a lot of viewers getting in touch to ask, where is the money coming from to solve the huge challenges raised by Paula, Janet and many others? Are you two gentlemen being honest?
We will raise specific taxes, and we've been really clear what they are. We've already dealt with the tax break on private schools. We want to end the non-dom status completely. I think that the super-rich should be paying their tax. I want to get rid of the equity loopholes that are there, again, for the super-rich. And I think the oil and gas companies should be paying their fair share towards our energy. So we will raise those, but we won't raise the others.
Rishi Sunak.
Yes, well, we have already scrapped the non-dom regime, and we have a 75% windfall tax on energy companies. But independent Treasury civil servants have costed Labour's policies, and it's £2,000. But you asked for specifics, nonsense. Really. So let's have a specific difference.
Please let Mr. Sunak finish.
The triple lock us, so that we raise the personal allowance for pensioners and ensure that the state pension is never subject to tax. That's all you'll get under a future Conservative government. Keir Starmer hasn't matched that pledge, which means for the first time in our country's history, if Labour are elected, pensioners will pay tax. I do not think that is right, and you should explain to everyone why you think pensioners will be paying a retirement tax under your government.
Briefly, please,
What the Prime Minister's done so far in the 2 weeks of this campaign is to make desperate gimmicks and put them on the table. He's told us he's going to get rid, it's their policy to get rid of national insurance altogether. That's £46 billion. He said it's their policy to get rid of inheritance tax. That's £10 billion. He says he's going to get rid of tax on pensioners.
You're just talking nonsense. But just answer the specific question. We have committed, I can tell you...
Thank you, not over each other. Thank you, not over each other.
No, but this is... We've committed to the Triple Lock Plus. Under us, the state pension will never pay tax. Under you, there's a retirement tax coming for British pensioners. I think it's appalling. Explain to people why do you think pensioners should pay tax on the state pension?
OK.
The big problem with Liz Truss is that she made unfunded tax cuts.
All right.
The Prime Minister is doing the same thing. We're going to go round the circle again.
Everyone, because you asked, you asked about it. It's very clear. Pensioners under Keir Starmer will pay tax on the state pension for the first time in our country's history.
All right, I'm going to just
It is a retirement tax, and Keir Starmer can talk about the past all he wants, but in the future, pensioners have got a tax rise coming under your government.
All right, gentlemen,
why
please.
do you want to do that to pensioners? Why do you want to put up their taxes?
We're just going to take a pause there. I just want to put this on the table. The Institute for Fiscal Studies independently has assessed that you are joining in a conspiracy of silence in not acknowledging the scale of the choices and trade-offs that will face us after the election. Unprotected budgets, that's budgets for areas outside of schools, the NHS and defence. They could face up to 4% of cuts a year. One word, can you rule those cuts out? Are you being level with us? One word with us, yes or no?
We're going to continue investing record sums in public services.
I ask yes or no.
No, we're not going to go back to austerity. I ran a public service for 5 years, the Crown Prosecution Service. I know how hard it is.
Thank you very much
indeed. You don't have
indeed.
enough money. I believe in our public service.
Thank you, Keir Starmer. Thank you, Rishi Sunak. For the time being, we will take a breath. After the break, we'll be discussing immigration, climate, and we'll take a closer look at what sort of leader Rishi Sunak and Keir Starmer would be. Don't go away.
Oof. Oh. All right, so this is a guy making love to his puppet. That's all we need to know, really. Folks, hope you're having a good time. I am. What if she just, like, shot Rishi? It probably would be bad. If you're enjoying the stream, folks, consider dropping those sweet, sweet subs and donos. We are only 3 subs of the way there today. Hello, Jazz Dog. How is the jazziest dog doing this day? Remember, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button, do the button dance. And we're going to continue our slog through British politics. Always a good time in Jack's chat. Well, I'm glad you guys are having a good time. All right.
Welcome back to Sunak versus Starmer, the ITV debate. The first half was dominated by the cost of living and public services. Just a little information for both of our candidates here. Please, an appeal from me not to speak over one another. We want to make sure that everybody can hear what you're saying. That was a gentle reminder. It may not be so gentle next time.
What does that even mean? What are you going to do?
To another
what are you going to do to
issue
them?
In this election,
Explain the consequences of their actions.
Our next questioner is Stephen from Warrington. Stephen.
Thank you. Politicians have broken so many promises on immigration. Why should I trust either of you to do anything about such large numbers of people risking their lives to cross the channel to gain access to the UK illegally?
Thank you very much indeed, Stephen. Rishi Sunak.
Stephen, immigration is too high, and we will need to take bold action to bring it down, whether that's legal migration, where we're going to introduce a new legal cap to guarantee that it will come down every year, or the boats, which you mentioned, where we got the numbers down last year by a third, and now we have a deterrent ready to go. Migrants have been detained, the flights will go in July, but only if I'm your Prime Minister. If Keir Starmer's elected, all those people will be released, the flights will be cancelled, and we will have no deterrent to stop the...
Goodness, why is
Do I
this
have
so
to do
bad?
everything, chat? Me does the button dance. SHOOPWOOPDAWOOP.
Oh, thank you very much, Salmon Moose.
How can we all have died at the same time?
The xenophobia of your countrymen is so... It is kind of shocking, right? Like, it's shocking that you can get up on a stage and be like, well, what's all this then? I hate them foreigners coming across my channel, right? And that's just like everyone else is just like, ah, yes, that's just racist Fred. He's a beloved figure around these parts. Yeah, I don't, you know, it's wild.
Unfairness of people crossing in boats. So that's the choice for you at this election. Stick to our plan, and illegal migrants will be on those planes. With Labour, they will be out on our streets.
Thank you very much, Rishi Sunak. Keir Starmer.
Well, Stephen, the levels of migration are at record highs, 685,000. It's never been that high, save in the last year or two, the Prime Minister says it's too high. Well, who's in charge? Who's in charge? He's the most liberal Prime Minister we've ever had on immigration. We've never had numbers like this before. And he says that you can believe him on the boats. Nobody should be making that crossing across the Channel. 18 months ago, the Prime Minister made a promise. He said, just like the NHS promise, he was personally accountable for it, that he would stop the boats. This year alone, 10,000 people have crossed on boats. That's a record number. So again, he's made a promise and he's completely failed to keep it.
Thank you. Rishi Sunak, respond directly to Keir Starmer.
Yeah, over the last 12 months, the number of crossings have down a third because the plans we put in place are starting to make a difference. But the choice of this election...
I mean, yeah, they're making a difference insofar as you're making the UK seem like a way shittier option. But you're doing it by making, like, the country itself shittier, which is not really, like, a great strategy. I don't think that's a long-term sustainable solution.
...is about the future. I believe you need to have a deterrent. The only way to stop this problem is to say to people who come here illegally, they cannot stay and they will be removed. If I'm your Prime Minister, the planes will go to Rwanda, we will have a deterrent. So the simple question for Keir Starmer...
Also, can someone... One of the British people in chat, can one of you explain what this obsession is with sending immigrants to Rwanda? Like, why? And also, like even from like a racist standpoint, like if you're in the shoes of a racist here coming up with that particular policy, it's very expensive to just fly people to Rwanda. No, I knew about this, but like I thought it was like an offhanded kind of like jokey. Oh yeah, we'll send them all to Rwanda, just like we sent them to Australia. But I didn't think it was like a serious policy he was proposing. Like, why? It's a major policy for the Tories, but why though? How on earth is it cheaper and better for the UK to go to the expense of shipping people halfway around the world? Like, yeah, oh, we couldn't possibly scrape together the money to pay our doctors. But you know what we do have the money for? Just sustained, long, indefinite trips to Rwanda. Yeah, we can just keep flying people to Rwanda. What are you on about? That's insane. That's insane.
What will you do with people who come here illegally? What will you do with them? Well, very simply,
Wait, it's about £40,000 for them to send one plane? Or is it £40,000 per person? Because, like... Oh my god. Like, man. Conservatives literally are the embodiment of the drill tweet. That's like, food, 300, gas, 200, clothing, 100, K-pop albums, 20 million, help, my family is starving, someone balance my checkbook. You know, it's like the living embodiment of that. It's insane. Oh yeah, our social safety net is just so broke, guys. We couldn't possibly give you all health care. Meanwhile, every like immigrant to the country gets a plane trip to Rwanda. Insane nonsense.
What do you do with them? That's what I'm going to do. We'll have a deterrent. What are you going to do?
We need to smash the gangs that are running this vile trade, making a huge amount of money putting some of the most vulnerable people in boats across the Channel. They're making a fortune. Before I was a politician, Stephen, I was the Director of Public Prosecutions, and I worked with the police and prosecutors in other countries to bring down terrorist gangs who are running across borders. I do not believe it's impossible to bring down these gangs. What I won't do is engage in an expensive gimmick, the Rwanda scheme. If he believed it was going to work, he wouldn't have called an election before it can be tested. He wouldn't have done it.
So, Keir Starmer said, smash the gangs. We put new laws in Parliament that have now led to almost 1,000 criminals and people smugglers being arrested, serving hundreds of years in jail. Because we do need to smash the gangs. Keir Starmer voted against those laws. So, as ever, you say one thing here, but your track record says something completely different, and you can't be trusted to tackle immigration.
So why are the numbers this year 10,000 record numbers? Why is that?
Because this is a challenge. This is a growing challenge, but I've got a plan to deal with it because I'm going to put people on planes. What are you going to do with them? I can tell everyone what I'm going to do. You might not like it, but I've got a plan because we've got to have a deterrent. What are you going to do? Just tell everybody. What are you going to do with illegal migrants who arrive?
Please, can we please, gentlemen, we will lower our voices. Keir Starmer, please respond directly to Rishi Sunak.
There's a pattern of behaviour here. He said he would get waiting lists down. They've gone up. He said he would stop the boats. We've got record numbers coming. The promises he makes are not worth the paper they're written on. His plan is failing. We do have to deal with this problem, Stephen. We absolutely have to deal with it. We have to smash the gangs that are doing. I will never accept that the only criminal gangs that can't be taken down are these violent gangs.
It's the cruelty is the point.
In my past, I've seen how it's done. I know it can be done. We'll have a border security command if I'm Prime Minister, and we will get that done and stop this vile trade and those boats coming over with very vulnerable people.
Thank you very much. I'm just going to call a pause there. Thank you very much. A very specific question to you, if I may, Rishi Sunak, and that is on the European Convention on Human Rights. If your Rwanda plan is blocked by the courts, and will this appear in your manifesto, that you would remove the UK from the European Convention on Human Rights? Is that part of your plan? Will that be in your manifesto?
I'm crystal clear. I believe all our plans are compliant with our international obligations, but if I'm forced to choose between securing our borders and our country's security or a foreign court, I'm going to choose our country's security every single time.
So that's a yes. Excuse me, can I be clear? That is a yes.
I've been crystal clear. I will choose our country's security ahead of membership of a foreign court every single time.
Very, very clear answer. Keir Starmer, respond to that directly to Rishi Sunak, please.
No, if I'm Prime Minister, we will not pull out of international agreements and international law, which is respected the world over. Because I want the UK to be a respected player on the global stage, not a pariah who doesn't agree with international law. And those laws were put in place after the Second World War, after the horrors of the Second World War, when all governments, all countries came together and said, never again. And it was a Conservative government. Churchill's fingerprints are on this instrument. So important was it for the Conservative Party. This Conservative Party is 1,000,000 miles away from the Conservative Party of old.
I have a direct question to put to you, Keir Starmer. You sound quite similar. Just to confirm for both of you,
smashing gangs
on the
and
issue
no pull-out,
of safe routes. Are safe routes for people crossing the Channel not the answer, Keir Starmer?
Well, I don't think anybody should be crossing the Channel. In relation to some countries, I do agree with safe routes. So, for example, well, just give me an example, Afghanistan, where everybody will observe the terrible scenes when the Taliban took over, and people risk their lives to interpret for our forces, etc. I thought they should be allowed to come here to safety, and I supported the safe routes for them to do so. There are circumstances where I do believe that's the right thing to do. Ukraine is another example.
Thank you. We just need to keep this brief. Yes or no to safe routes for those crossing the Channel?
Of course we should have safe routes, but when we've controlled our borders, we will be able to have a conversation about the right number to accept. We've been a very generous, compassionate country, but we talk about European conventions. 20 European countries almost now have agreed with my approach. Believe that you need to be able to return people to a safe country, otherwise you can't solve this problem. We still haven't heard from Keir Starmer, and this is meant to be a debate about the future. I will put people on planes to create that deterrent. Multiple other European countries agree with that.
I will put people on planes in a plan that makes no sense.
What will you do with them?
Would you consider processing asylum claims in a third country, Keir Starmer?
Yes, if that was possible to do it in compliance with international law, of course. But just let me deal with this, because...
So you do now agree?
OK, so you...
now, you've just changed your
thought we were not going to talk over each other.
So you do now agree with third country deals?
Thank you very much.
Could I just get a word in edgeways?
Mr Sunak. Mr Starmer.
At the moment, people arriving by small boats are not having their claims processed. By the end of the year, that means there'll be 100,000 people in hotels at taxpayers' expense who are not having their claims processed. That means one thing: they cannot be returned. And that's why returns have gone down by 40% on his watch. Now, he'll say again, well, don't look at the last 14 years. I know that was terrible. Don't look at that. I'm just looking forward. But I'm sorry, we're all living with the consequence of your awful decision.
Thank you. So, gentlemen, thank you very much indeed for that. We are trying to get as many topics in. Thank you. No, thank you. I'm just going to draw a line under that. We are just trying to cover as much ground as possible. I'm sure you both understand that. Thank you. We're going to turn now.
Can I... Genuine question to the Britbongers in the audience. Is the UK as cooked as it looks from this debate? Like, Keir Starmer is basically your guys' Joe Biden, and that's saying, you know, like, he's bad. Is there, like, any political figure that is currently, like, good in the UK? Because it doesn't seem like it. Like, there aren't any politicians that I really look at and I'm like, yes, they could help. Yeah, Joe Biden is better than Starmer. That's just so hard to say. So there are third parties that can get seats. Yeah, like, usually I kind of take, like, a little bit of, like, solace in, like, the idea that American politics are terrible, but, like, other countries kind of got it going, like, right. And I guess that's not the UK.
Out to our fourth question from Omer from Manchester. Omer.
Thank you. I'm worried about the UK's lack of leadership on the world stage. I want our PM to be strong enough to take a stand even when it's hard. So what should happen next to stop these awful scenes we're seeing in Gaza?
Thank you very much indeed for that question, Omer. And that question there, it has a wide range to it, but very specifically, it is about the Hamas terrorist atrocities of October the 7th and then what unfolded after, the scenes of which we see on our television news every evening. So I'd like you both, please, to address that particular situation. A lot of people have been very uncomfortable with the stance that both of you have taken on this. How would you respond? First to Keir Starmer.
Well, Omar, the situation in Gaza is intolerable. It's catastrophic. Tens of thousands of people have been killed, a disproportionate number of women and children. So, Omar, what we need now is a ceasefire, a cessation of the hostilities straight away. And for these purposes, which is really important because it's a very grave situation, firstly, we have to get the hostages out. They've been held for a very, very long time, and I dread to think that the state they're in. Secondly, we desperately need humanitarian aid into Gaza, but desperately, it's catastrophic. Thirdly, and this is where the leadership piece comes in, we have to find a path to a lasting resolution. That has to be a two-state solution, and we need to show leadership on that. And I know that if we're elected into office, if we're humble enough to serve, that will be my...
And of course, by find the leadership, he means find the right people who actually won't do anything to upset the status quo, i.e., me, Keir Starmer, status quo warrior.
Solemn duty.
Rishi Sunak.
Yes, Omar, it's an awful situation, and I'm pleased, actually, that Keir Starmer supported, alongside me, Israel's right to defend itself in the face of the atrocious attack that they suffered. But right now, you're seeing that US have put a deal on the table, which we strongly support, together with our allies, to bring an immediate end to the hostilities, release hostages, get more aid in, and then build towards a lasting settlement with a two-state solution. We've led in providing more aid to Gaza, something I'm proud that we've done. Our troops have helped build the port that's being established. But more generally, the world is a more uncertain place. What Hamas doing is indicative of the dangers we face, which is why I've made the bold decision also to lead, to increase investment in our country's defence, because I think that's necessary to keep you safe, everyone safe. It's something that the Labour Party have not matched.
Thank you very much for those serious, considered responses to the first part of Omar's question. You raised a question there very specifically at the end of that statement, Rishi Sunak, raising the question about our security or otherwise under the potential leadership of Keir Starmer. Do you really think the man standing next to you is a threat to our national security?
No, I don't think the Labour Party can be trusted to keep this country as safe as the Conservatives. The world is a more dangerous and uncertain place than at any point since the end of the Cold War. I've made the decision to invest more in our defence, taking it up to 2.5% of GDP.
The auto mod
Labour Party have not matched that. And
we had to turn it on
the person who would be Deputy
reasons.
Prime Minister under Keir Starmer does not believe in our nuclear deterrent, the ultimate guarantor of our security. So no, you can trust the Conservatives with our country's security, and my track record and our commitments prove that.
Keir Starmer.
This is shocking. Before I was a politician, I was the Director of Public Prosecutions. I was working on national security. I was dealing with terrorist plots. One of them that we prosecuted was to take down 7 aeroplanes as they were halfway across the Atlantic. They were going to be blown up. That is one of the cases that I prosecuted, knowing how important it is to keep everybody in this country safe and sound. Imagine what would have happened if those planes had gone down. For the Prime Minister, who was at the time making money betting against the country during the financial crisis, that's what he was doing when I was acting on national security, to now say that somehow national security is safer in his hands is insulting and it's childish.
OK, thank you. A very brief response to that.
Well, I'd have rather had my job than work for extremists like Abu Qatada and his
the Crown Prosecution Service is an extremist organisation.
No, Abu Qatada...
Guy, Foxbat, what? Who's invading you? The British have every reason to fear a second Viking invasion, okay? It's very traumatizing. All right, in fact, they already had a second Viking invasion back in 1066. Literally months before the Norman conquest. UK always getting invaded, baby. All throughout history. They deserve to fear invasion by foreign powers. And that is exactly what checks notes. People moving to the country are doing. You see, when the Vikings invaded, what they don't tell you about in the history books, and I know this because I wrote a thesis on it, what they don't tell you is that when the Vikings invaded England in 1066, they, Tostig, came across the sea and bought a house. Turns out, a bunch of really dope Vikings came across the sea. They started renting houses and working in the local communities. And really, this is the terrifying thing about the invasions that are currently taking place in the UK is no one even knows they're happening. It's just a new person shows up in your community one day and they pay rent and they own a home and they go to work. And that's the horrifying thing. They're just like you and me. In fact, as close as you can possibly look, they are just you and me. It's almost like it's not even invasion at all. Oh, spooky. People who just want to come and work and live here and get an education. Ooh. And pay taxes. Scary, scary taxes. Literally, this is what conservative fear-mongering sounds like to me.
And Hizbut Tahrir, who you work for as well, so people can Google that and have a look. But there's a clear choice.
Desperate.
I'm investing more in our country's defence, up to 2.5% of GDP.
Okay.
You are not doing that.
Okay.
So how can you tell people you will keep them safe when you're not willing to invest more in our country's
Thank you.
security?
We've explored both of those positions. I'm just going to draw a breath there. Just once again, we've got a quick-fire question for you from Stephen from West Sussex, who sent us a question and asked, just very quickly, a very brief answer from both of you. Would convicted criminal Donald Trump be someone you, as Prime Minister, would want a special relationship with? Keir Starmer.
If he's elected President of the US.
Can I just say, again, the terminology in England is very funny to me, because it really just sounds like you asked him, do you want to have sex with Donald Trump? That's what it sounds like to me.
Spooky ghost Booyoo.
Booyoo? Archangel, thank you for the Booyoo money. Thank you for the 9 subs that we have now achieved in chat. Folks, we are 11 subs away from an outfit change. Please don't do it. I'm so comfortable. Don't give me money in exchange for me doing the show that I do. Please, no. All right. Back to this.
US, then we will deal with him. It's up to the people in the US to decide who they want as their president. And the special
even if he's a criminal.
The special relationship transcends whoever fills the post of Prime Minister and President, because it's such.
The special relationship fills the post, does it? I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does.
Important, strong relationship.
Thank you, Rishi Sunak.
Yes, because having a strong.
You really weren't kidding about them giving the United States handies under the table during this, were you?
Strong relationship with our closest partner and ally in the United States is critical for keeping everyone in our country safe.
Thank you for those brief answers, Rishi Sunak and Keir Starmer. We're going on to another question now, and this one is on the very pressing issue on climate change, and we're going to go to Claire from South London. Hi, Claire.
Thank you.
Failed
The world
Spooky
is facing
Go
a
CBU.
climate catastrophe now. Both of you have broken
Nice
promises
try,
on the
Archangel.
environment. What are you doing to put climate at the very centre of your policies?
Thank you very much, Rishi Sunak.
Well, Claire, I have 2 young girls, and this is what they talk to me about more than anything else. And of course, we're going to tackle climate change and get to net zero. This election is about how we do it. And
They
I
don't
don't
hate
think
the both of us.
that British people.
They're just going boo-earns.
Why is it doing the text-to-speech? What are you doing? Also,
BWA for life. Oh, you.
all right. You guys have successfully unlocked an outfit change. I hope it was worth it. Second of all, you've unlocked a secret tier. That's right. You thought we were only going to an outfit? You fools. You buffoons. Of course not. At 50 subs. We tuddle. All right?
About to retire Spooky Ghost. Oh.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Let's go. I love to tuddle. Teach me how to tuddle. Teach me how to tuddle. Now, we do have to finish this debate for the content, but after we do the debate, we will tuddle. We will tuddle to our heart's content. Charlie, thank you for gifting a membership. It's so nice that it comes up on screen now, too. Drake the Snake. Do ghosts get retirement benefits or death benefits? They, you know, I don't know. I don't know how this works. All right.
People should solve a global problem all by themselves,
Wait.
which is why I'm also prioritising our country's energy security and your bills. We've heard a lot about the cost of living challenges today, so I have made some decisions, bold decisions, that will mean that we can save all of you thousands of pounds, still meet our targets, and we can ensure our country's energy security. The contrast is clear at this election, because Keir Starmer will reverse all of the changes I've made. That's going to cost everyone and you thousands of pounds and make our country less energy secure by banning North Sea energy.
Okay.
And that, I don't think, is a right course.
A-I-O-U, John Madden, 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 John Madden.
Why? Why would you John Madden me like that? It's so John Maddening.
For our country.
Thank you, Keir Starmer.
This £2,000 he keeps saying it's going to cost is absolute garbage.
Take me to
We
the
won't
joke
go into the details
gulag.
of it. But Claire, let me address
I regret nothing.
Your point, because this is really important. A transition is coming that's very important when it comes, for example, to energy, a transition to renewables. I don't think we should just see that as a challenge. It's a huge opportunity, because if we go to renewable energy, that means cheaper bills. Renewables are cheaper, not just for the short term, but for the long term. It gives us energy security, so it means that Putin can't put his boot on our throat, and the result you've all been feeling for the last 2 years. But it all
And the result of that boot you've all been feeling for the last 2 years. Men, I see you with all those rock-hard stiffies out there.
also gives us the next generation of jobs. Other countries have realised renewables is the future. They're in the race. I want the UK to be in the race. I want us to win the race. When it comes to hydrogen, offshore wind, solar,
transition
nuclear,
is coming.
Thank
It's
you.
like
the question I
winter.
ask is why
Thank
not
you very
Britain?
much. That's 45 seconds, Keir Starmer. I'm going to try and stick to the rules if we can. There's a very specific point that Claire makes in her question. Both of you have broken your promises on the environment. Will you acknowledge that, right, Rishi Sunak?
No. We're going to stick to the targets we've put in place,
No.
but we're going to do it in a way that saves you all money. I'm not going to impose thousands of pounds of costs on you to arbitrarily rip out your boiler, change your car, convert your home. When we've been talking about the cost of living challenges earlier in this debate, I don't think adding thousands of pounds of costs to you is the right thing. Now, Keir Starmer is going to reverse those changes that I made.
Okay,
So everyone is facing thousands of pounds of higher bills. That is the choice at this election.
Let Keir Starmer respond to that and address the issue of broken promises. Please respond directly to what...
It's hard to respond because he's making it up as he goes
Let's
along.
go.
But let me do the best that I can, because the promise I made was clean power by 2030. It's one of my 5 missions, Claire, one of the most important things that I want an incoming Labour government, the driving sense of purpose to achieve. Clean power by 2030. That's the promise I've made. That's the promise I'll keep. It'll be in our manifesto. It'll be fully costed and fully funded. But the Prime Minister is slowing down on the climate change.
Tuttles, volt, 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 tuttles, volt.
Oh my god. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs. I was not expecting the Tuttles Vault.
See? But why John Madden when you could John Bogartis? Just saying. BWA.
John Bogardus, thank you for Snack Bowl Exile. Thank you for the $13 dono. Let's go. And that brings us to 40 point. I don't know, 6. There we go. 40.6. Tuttle's Vault.
Problem with that is not only is that inconsistent with our obligations, it will cost more in the long run.
OK, let
so
Rishi
it's
Sunak
completely
respond
head
to
in the
that.
sand stuff.
Rishi Sunak,
Keir Starmer's going to reverse the changes I made. To install a heat pump now, if you don't need to, costs about £7,000 or £10,000. To convert your home, again.
And how much will that save you over time compared to a traditional non-heat pump?
And if you're in a terraced house in Darlington, £10,000. changing your car sooner than America, Canada, Sweden, France, Germany, as he wants you to do. Thousands of pounds.
OK, let's
There's a
Keir
simple
Starmer
choice
respond
at this election.
Thank you.
If you think Labour are going to win,
thousands of pounds.
Let Keir Starmer respond to those specific points. Keir Starmer.
Well, the company that the Prime Minister's been using to try and trail out these figures has done some analysis, which is actually published today, Prime Minister. You obviously haven't seen it. What they say, this is the company he's relying on, is that will cost more, the 2030 plan, if you're with the Prime Minister than with a Labour government. And that's been public. I don't know whether you've been too busy or you perhaps haven't seen it, but the very company that he relies on to trot out these false figures is actually saying it's more expensive with the Conservatives than with Labour. Now, I would like him just to answer that.
Rishi Sunak,
anyone can go online when they get home. Go and see how much it will cost to convert your home. Go and see how much it will cost to install the heat pump. Go and see how much it will cost to change your car. Those are all the things that he's going to force you to do sooner than is necessary. You can go and see tonight the thousands of pounds that's going to cost you. I said it before, I'll say it again. He is going to put up your taxes, put up your bills, as clear as night follows day.
I'm going to just return very briefly.
Yeah, but what do you get? You know, like people, this is what I don't get about like discussions around taxes, right? Like, oh man, this guy's gonna make you charge more money than this guy. It's like, well, but wait, am I gonna get more stuff for the money? Like, is the guy who's gonna charge me more in taxes gonna let me do more stuff in exchange for those, in exchange for those taxes? Why doesn't anyone ever ask that part of the question?
To Claire's question, she's talking about a climate catastrophe now. What are you doing to put climate at the very centre of your policies? Very briefly.
I want to set up Great British Energy. This is a publicly owned company that will generate energy, that will have investment alongside it. It'll be owned by the taxpayer, making money for the taxpayer, and drive us to renewables so that we can have lower bills, secure energy, and the jobs of the future. I also think that we should insulate our houses because I think people are paying far too much in their bills. And that was a project that was started 10 years ago and cancelled under the Conservatives when they said cut the green crap. We've lost 10 years. I'd get on with it and get your
exactly,
bills down.
Paladin. That's a good quote. It's not about big government or small government. It's about good government, getting the best possible return on the money you're paying. Exactly.
Tunnel vault. Oh wait, I think I did this wrong.
Very knifey duck. Thank you for the $5 dono. There we go. Let's go. Thank you very, very much. We're getting closer to Tuttle. Teach me how to Tuttle. Teach me how to Tuttle.
Fed up with energy bills that have gone through the roof.
Thank you very much indeed for that. We've got another question, a very important question from Miles from Ilford for both of you.
Miles O'Brien from Star Trek.
Thank you. Like many young people, I completed my final years of sixth form under COVID restrictions, started university under them, and I've had to deal with a cost of living crisis, a housing crisis, and an unstable world. What future can you offer my generation, and when will we become your priority?
Thank you very much indeed. Kirsten.
I just, for comedic effect, I want him to lean into the mic and say,
what I think is really important is that you have the further education opportunities that you need, whether that's university or technical skills. I think either are perfectly, they're equivalent, they're really important. My dad was a toolmaker, so he went down the skills route. I was the first, as it happens in my family, to go to university. So we would ensure that those jobs are there for you, for the future, that you have the opportunity to get on. We'll build the houses so you don't have to be, 30-something, 35, 36 before you own a house under this government. But what I won't be doing is sending you on national service, some sort of teenage dad's army, which would be what the Prime Minister would say. Forget going on to university. He wants to send you off to do national service.
Thank you very much, Keir Starmer. Rishi Sunak.
You know, we have an enormous amount to be proud of as a country, but we do need to do more to make sure our young people, like you, Miles, get the opportunities that they deserve. So that's why we will introduce a modern form of national service. And I think it's going to be transformational for young people in our country, giving them the skills and opportunities they need to succeed in life, fostering a culture of service in society, bringing it together, but also strengthening our resilience and security for the future. And I think it is going to be something that's incredibly positive. But beyond that, I want you to have financial security. So when you get that job, when you save for that house, we make it easier, which is why I want to keep cutting your taxes so you can keep more of your money, build for a deposit for that first house, and not saddle you with £2,000 of higher taxes.
Thank you very much indeed, Rishi Sunak.
Just put it in a health savings account. You don't need private. You don't need public health care.
Yeah, I think
Tell him why you don't think it's that.
Yeah, whatever you might think of it, it is an idea that's transformational for our society.
Well, the Army don't like it.
But Keir Starmer, all he can do is sneer at it. Sneer at it because you don't have any ideas for the future. You don't have anything that's bold, that's going to transform our country for the better. And in fact, everywhere I've been, since I've made the announcement, I've had people talking to me about how they think it will be wonderful for their children, how they think it will change our country for the better, and it's an example of the bold action that I'm prepared to take to do things differently to deliver a more secure future. You don't have big ideas like that.
They've been in power for 14 years. And after 14 years, with a few weeks to go before the election, they come out with this desperate idea. It was such a brilliant idea. Why for 14 years has your government not lifted a finger to do it? It's a desperate attempt. Now the election's being called to get some attention, to put something on the table. The other thing I would say is this. It is very important, Miles, is that the money the Prime Minister says he's going to use for this national service, he's going to take away from levelling up. Remember that promise in 2019, we're going to level up? When I was going to use the money for national service and the army say, and the military say, this isn't going to help us because we don't have the wherewithal to train people and it'll take away from our own budget.
Rishi Sunak to respond very
It's not thought through, it's not sensible, it's desperate.
Could you respond very specifically on those points?
Actually, having spoken to lots of people from the armed forces, they're very supportive of the plan and they think it will do brilliant for them over time to attract people into the armed forces. And actually, the money that we spend on levelling up is partly spent spreading skills and opportunities.
Yes, you see, we need to coerce the poor and working class people into joining the military, because if we don't, how else can we project force across the globe and bomb countries we view as less human than us? You see, without the forces of our military, we would just be another country and not Britain anymore. So we need to maintain the spirit of the British Empire by forcing our youth to suffer the horrors and travails of war. Indeed, indeed.
For young people, and I think this is the best way to do it. But again, you've had 14 years with nothing to do but think about the future, but you have nothing to say about it, and all you can do is talk about the past. And it's clear, there are no big ideas here. If we want to transform our country for the better and deliver a secure future, you've got to have leaders who are prepared to do big, bold things.
Rishi Sunak saying you're stuck in the past, Keir Starmer.
On the one hand, he says these are all the big ideas that Keir Starmer's coming up with, and they'll cost a fortune. Then he says he hasn't got any big ideas. I do appreciate why he doesn't want to talk about the last 14 years. He's ashamed of the last 14 years. He's not said tonight in this debate one thing saying, this is our proud record, vote for me because we've got a great record. He can't say that. He can't say vote for Conservatives.
Oh my God, Paladin, how did you make that so fast? How did you make that so fast, Paladin? That... Oh my God. Oh, God.
Who's there?
Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Let's go! You are very good. You're like you're like our very own Weird Al. Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! All right, I got killed by a giant bug. Anyway, it's fine. I didn't like how that went. All right, we are 3 2/5 of the way. Hey, Banana Brains! I just want to hear that bot say, wow, 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 wow. There we go. 47, let's go. Wilson's a
We've got
good
great
girl.
leaders, burnt through 5 prime ministers. So all he can do is say, please look at the future. Please don't look at what we've done in the last 14 years.
Thank you.
We cannot have 5 more years of this. Got to draw a
Banana
line.
Brains, I think
Got
you have
turn a
to
page
get
and
over a
start
$5 limit for text to
and
speech.
Miles is listening very patiently to all of this, and I want to root this in his question, whatever the to and fro on that issue may have been between the two of you. You're both homeowners. The most common living arrangement for 18 to 34-year-olds is living with their parents.
I know, Luna. That's why I want to beat
They young
Radon.
need to change their expectations of home ownership now. Do we have to be realistic about this? The young people of this country deserve some honesty. Rishi Sunak.
Yeah, it is too hard to own your own home, and I want everyone to feel what I experienced when I got the keys to my first flat, because it's a very special feeling, and we need to make it easier. And that's why we've delivered 1 million homes in this Parliament, and we'll keep building homes in the right place, but not concreting over the countryside as Labour would do. But crucially, we need to make it easy for you to save for that deposit. And that's why I want your hard work to be rewarded. I don't think we should be taxing you more, because that's just going to make it even harder for you to get on the property ladder.
Thank you. Keir Starmer, on this specific point.
I think what you raise is really important, because for young people, the dream of home ownership has all but gone. The average age for owning a home now, Miles, is late 30s. That's shocking, because I know what your own roof over your head means for an individual. It meant the world to me when I was growing up. So we will build 1.5 million homes. Picking a number requires a plan. And if those homes are going to be built, we're going to have to change the planning laws to make sure we can get on with it. We're going to have to make sure our mayors and combined authorities have the powers they need to put the homes in the places. And we need to make sure the amenities are there, the schools, the health clubs, etc., to support those homes. So we've got a clear plan to deliver.
Man, I don't know why the video software is struggling so hard. Vampire... Jesus. Here we go. Can it not fit? This is so bizarre. All right. There we go. God damn. Why was that so hard? Vampire movie. Specifically, if any... Why? My streaming software is being naughty, and I don't like it. So for those of you who don't know which vampire movie I'm talking about, you gonna learn today. All right? Here, I will play the trailer for this 97.5-minute long labor of love. All right? Where's the trailer here? Dracula's Angel. Oh, wait. God. Well, this is not the way I wanted to introduce Dracula's Angel, one of the best films of our modern times. This is the trailer, all right?
Almost size face. LA's a drag. I'm leaving.
I've had just about enough out of you. What Laura needs is to have a real man take over.
It is Okay, there's I think Elden Ring is making some issues here. 1 second.
At last, my love, I have found you.
Laura, it's Keith.
I have searched for you for such a long time. You know you want me, why do you resist?
You know you want me, why do you resist? Anyway, that is what is in store if we hit 100 subs. It's both a promise and a threat. All right, moving right along. What do you mean no Tuttle twins? We got to finish this debate first. I can't just not. We've watched an hour and a half. I want to be able to put it on YouTube. Okay. All right. We're on the same page now.
Over on the homes that will make sure, Miles, that you get that chance for the dream far earlier than you do under this failed government.
All right, thank you very much indeed. There was so much that was in the question from Miles. Thank you very much indeed for that. And we're just going to come now to a final quick-fire question. It's been a pretty serious evening in terms of what we've discussed so far. Just to both of you. Apparently, there is another big contest on this summer. For many, it's the biggest contest, and that is, of course, the Euros. We know you're both football fans. You are not the only leaders under pressure to win, and sometimes accused of not being exciting enough. So here, slightly with my tongue in cheek, if you'll forgive me, both of you, is a question that we've literally just had in from Gareth, who's on his way to Germany. What is the best leadership approach? Play it safe or take some risks and go for the win? What would be your leadership style? Rishi Sunak, quickly.
Well, not to give advice to Gareth Southgate, who, when I met him, we did discuss who had the worst job in Britain in terms of other people giving you their opinions. But I say you need to have a clear plan and you need to take bold action because you don't do anything without those things.
Thank you very much, Rishi Sunak. Keir Starmer, briefly.
Game plan, good squad, and he's got both of those. I really think England are going to do really well this year. They've got a fantastic team, and I'm really...
Be radical or do you play it safe?
Sorry? You need a strategy for winning. So
it's such a banal question. Why would you even ask this?
It depends who you're playing, what the issue is. That's what Gareth does. He's very, very good at this. And he's built a squad. And just like I've got a brilliant centre cabinet.
OK, thank you very much, gentlemen, for both of those answers on the footy. Thank you. And we go now to the candidates' closing statements. First of all, Keir Starmer.
Thank you. I don't offer you the gimmicks or unfunded promises that Rishi Sunak does. I don't pretend there's a magic wand that will fix everything overnight. Instead, I offer a practical, common-sense plan to change Britain. This election is about who our country works for. The simple, patriotic belief that Britain can be better and must be better. Imagine how you would feel waking up on July the 5th to 5 more years of the Conservatives. 5 more years of decline and division. The arsonists handed back the matches. Now imagine turning the page with a Labour government that rolls up its sleeves and gets on with the job, that puts the country back in your service. The choice at this election is clear. More chaos with the Conservatives or the chance to rebuild Britain with a changed Labour Party.
Thank you, Keir Starmer. Rishi Sunak.
Either Keir Starmer or I will be your Prime Minister, and a vote for anyone else makes it more likely that it will be him. Agree or disagree with me, you know what I stand for.
Man, this really is a Hail Mary style play. I mean, my best appeal is that you know who I am and what I believe, and you might hate me, you might despise my guts, but you know who I am. Yeah, so why should we vote for you?
I'll always have your back, as I did with furlough. But with Keir Starmer, apart from higher taxes, you don't know what you'd get, and neither does he. And we've heard a lot about...
Yeah, that Keir Starmer, he's a real wild card. He's a real... He really shoots from the hip. He gets, you know, he walks into the saloon and everyone looks at him side-eyed, not knowing if he's going to shoot left or right. He's really the coolest dude out there, so definitely don't vote for him.
About change from him, but change to what? Keir Starmer is asking you to hand him a blank cheque when he hasn't said what he'll buy with it or how much it's going to cost you. In uncertain times, we simply cannot afford an uncertain Prime Minister. If you don't know what you're going to get with Labour, don't vote for it.
Keir
On the 4th of
Starmer's a
July,
loose cannon, but a
choose
damn
lower
fine
immigration,
cop.
lower taxes and protected pensions. Choose a secure future with the Conservatives.
Thank you very much indeed, Rishi Sunak and Keir Starmer. Well, that's it. Quite a night. We've come to the end of our debate.
Well, that's it. Bye. Get the fuck out of here. That was incredible. You British folk aren't okay. I'm real sorry about your politics. And you guys get to say the exact same thing to us in a few months. Yeah, my main takeaway from this, both of them are terrible. Keir Starmer is slightly better, but like I really have to like pause. You know, really only slightly better than Rishi Sunak. I don't know. It's like watching like a Benny Hill sketch or something. Like just chasing each other around. It's embarrassing. All right, I need to get new batteries for my controller, but Tuttle, 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 tuttle. All right, folks, get ready. We're gonna start tuttling. Let's fix this real quick. Boink. Boink. Come on. Come on, Jack. All right, there we go. I'm sorry, Gamer G. I'm sorry. Now, we're almost certainly going to get slammed by Content ID for this, won't we? Did we try this before? I believe we tried this before. Right? We got dinged by Content ID? Token Shy, it really seemed like a vote for more taxes or a vote for nationalist imperialism. Well, yeah, basically. Oh my god, the itsy bitsy victim mentality. Holy moly. Oh my god. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. All right. Folks, we will be watching over on riverboat.gg. If you're over on YouTube, you will have to make the pilgrimage to riverboat.gg because we're going to be shutting down the YouTube stream, all right? So we can do some tuddling, you know? Every day we got to tuddle, all right? Teach me how to tuddle. Get over here. riverboat.gg in your browser. And we about to learn today. Is what we're about to do. Good night, YouTube stream. I'll be back tomorrow. And don't you go anywhere. I mean, do go somewhere. Go to riverboat.gg. But what I am saying is that we will be talking with Taylor Lorenz tomorrow, a reporter from the Washington Post. So be here to be queer, because it's Gay Rights Month.